People living in the nation of Mozambique along the southern coast of Africa woke up to pretty surprising news this week. Not a ton has been happening in Mozambique in recent years, but this really rattled them a little bit. The Biden administration informed the people of Mozambique in a presidential proclamation supposedly signed by Biden himself that they are no longer allowed in the United States. Now, it's nothing personal. It's Omicron, the new COVID variant that has been used to justify lockdowns around the world. The problem is, and the confusion came from the fact that there is no Omicron in Mozambique. There's not a single case of it in the country. So it's possible that one of the equity hires at the White House confused Mozambique with Botswana, where the other day 2 people may possibly have died of Omicron. Either way, Mozambique and Botswana don't even share a border, so people in Mozambique were highly confused and probably a little hurt. Today, Tony Fauci, who was the person, of course, who signed off on this travel ban, was asked about this by an African reporter. You know, Fauci replied, that's a good question, an important question. And then Fauci didn't answer it or even hint at an answer. So as of right now, we still don't know why there is a White House travel ban on Mozambique. Presumably the answer is because it's in Africa. And Africa is where all of this started just a few days ago, when the head of the South African Medical Association, a physician called Angelique Coetzee, noted that she had seen patients with a new variant of the coronavirus. Within hours of her saying that, politicians in the United States and many other countries began planning elaborate and highly punitive new measures against their own populations. From her office in Pretoria, Dr. Coetzee watched all of this happen with her jaw open. She was horrified. Quote, I have been stunned at the response, Coetzee wrote today in a piece for the Daily Mail. No one here in South Africa is known to have been hospitalized with the Omicron variant, nor is anyone here believed to have fallen seriously ill with it, end quote. In other words, Omicron, whatever it is far less dangerous than pretty much everything else that's currently going on in South Africa at the moment. But it didn't matter. By this point, the Biden administration had stopped listening to Dr. Angelique Coetzee. They'd gotten what they needed from her, and they moved on. So here's Tony Fauci today announcing that the terrifying scourge of Omicron has reached our shores.
A recent case of COVID-19 among an individual in California was caused by the Omicron variant. The individual was fully vaccinated and experienced mild symptoms, which are improving at this point.
Okay, so let's just parse this just for a moment. A fully vaccinated person in California has Omicron and is doing fine. So what can we conclude rationally from this? Well, obviously, the most stringent COVID restrictions in the country are not stopping the spread. So maybe the lesson here is viruses are very hard to stop. Sometimes they're virtually impossible to stop because they spread with remarkable efficiency. In the case of coronaviruses, they live in animals, so they're never going away, ever, no matter what. They don't tell you that, but it's true. So given all of those facts, it's possible we would be better off working on medicines to keep those viruses from killing vulnerable people. That seems like a rational approach to the problem. And yet is the one thing the Biden administration is completely uninterested in doing. No interest whatsoever in doing that.